Universal Studios Hollywood is introducing the California Neighbor Pass. For the neighborly price of just $119 online, you get over 200 days in the park. So swing by and share some laughs with your neighbors, like the Minions. Or Homer Simpson.
Go nuts.
Even go on an adventure with Harry Potter.
Stay close and follow me.
Visit UniversalStudiosHollywood.com to get over 200 days of thrills, laughter, and wonder with the new California Neighbor Pass for $119 online. Pass valid for 9 months from selected first visit date. Blackout dates, restrictions apply.
Blog Talk Radio.
It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all hot dogs.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
Have you checked the children?
Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? I think it's trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
There's no more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
Just a flesh wound.
Good evening, Flesh Wound Radio freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Horror Society Presents Flesh Wound Radio. I am Daniel Shine, joined once again by Todd Loya. Todd, how goes the day?
All goes well. How about yourself?
It's going good. I'm excited. They just opened a new Second and Charles in the area, so I'm gathering up some movies to trade in, and that's pretty much it. Fairly uneventful week. I was just watching the political smackdown that's going on right now, pretty much. That's about it. I think Trump was saying something about forcing somebody onto their knees or something. It is pretty amusing, I must say, but that's about it. Nothing too special, just trying to take part in our political system now, I guess. I hope Vince runs for president. I'm just going to throw it out there. That would have been funny as shit and great promotion if he ran for president against Trump. It would have been cool. I'm surprised they didn't do it, because that would have been great publicity, but alas.
Well, Vince is
Bob
on a
Backlund
skill
can come out of retirement.
What? Linda can smell it. Linda can spend another like $5 million.
She spent a lot more than that, I think. I was going to say that kind of hit them in the pocketbook, but we've got stack. Oh, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
I was going to say. I was just going to say she should. Shit, if it's working for Trump, she should have played her Linda McMahon character.
Yes. Yeah, I've just been watching it in awe this year. I'm not as political as I used to be, but it's just it's like reality TV. It's so weird. I mean, it's really gone. Anyways, we try not to talk politics on here, but Donald Trump was a part of WrestleMania, and we have the wrestling connection, so,
just for anyone listening who just heard that, I did not mute Dan, I did not censor Dan, I accidentally muted. I'm on the board, and I actually muted you for a split second, so.
Oh,
sorry,
wow.
Dan.
I'm pretty fucked up to get, muted. That would be pretty bad. Well, there you go. But anyways, we have a very stacked show tonight. We've got a guest reviewer coming on. We've got some guests coming on to promote an exciting new movie project. And we've got another good mix of reviews this week. We've got some sci-fi for you guys. We don't get to do that all that often, so that's always nice. A little bit of horror and some perverted horror porn, of course. So we've got a little bit of everything. Midgets, space succubi, drugs and future drugs, and all sorts of horrible things for you guys tonight. I'm really looking forward to one film in particular tonight. I don't know if you can guess what it is.
I do, and I think it has something to do with the zoo.
That is, yes, it does indeed. I'm very curious to get. Now that one we are going to be reviewing with our guest reviewer along with Sinful Dwarf, correct?
This is correct. That will be in our second episode.
Okay. All right, there you go. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to go into a synopsis. Well, we don't have anything major in the way of news today, except a couple announcements. Todd, I think you saw Private Lessons is coming to Blu-ray. I was excited about that one, another late-night Cinemax classic.
I actually did not see that, really.
It is indeed, yes. I will. Let me double-check here, because that would really suck if I fucked that one up. But let's see.
Because there has not been a proper presentation of that yet. The DVD is...
Yeah, no, it was a full-screen DVD, wasn't it, if I recall? Really shitty one.
The first one was, there was that one from Disney. There was that second one from Koch, which was widescreen. But still, and it had some features on it, if I do remember. Except it was horribly interlaced, hard letterbox transfer. I
am correct. Private Lessons, coming from Cinema Epoch in May. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought I saw it, but I wanted to make sure. Yeah, it's one I've always enjoyed. I mean, Felicity's coming out. I've got like two of my absolute favorites that'll be hitting Blu-ray. It's funny it said Cinema Epoch. Why did I think Cult Epics was doing this one? Well, either way, it's coming out, and that's fantastic news. And another bit of news, we have just a couple for you guys. If you haven't liked them on Facebook, Screen Archives is apparently going to announce a sale, and whoever's liked them on Facebook is going to get to see it first. No details on the sale. Of course, Screen Archive has been selling a lot of Code Red titles. There's 2 new Scorpion titles up, which kind of double news bit here. And yeah, I wish I knew what it was. I still have some Code Red gaps, and that will, God, Todd, man, have you seen what they've been announcing? The bucket list theater titles? Our wallets are going to get railed hard. I mean, hard and deep with no lube, because holy shit. I mean, they've announced Hands of Steel, 2019 After the Fall of New York, Iron Master. I mean, those are they've got a lot in the way of horror this time. I was talking to Chris earlier, and this is probably the best, most diverse group of films that Code Red's ever put out. I mean, certainly the most high profile. So you can kind of check out their Facebook page. There's a lot to mention there. I know they're working on The Church. I know Deadly Dreams, the Corman slasher flick, will be coming.
Opera?
Mm-hmm.
Argento's
yes,
Opera?
Opera. I kind of got a feeling that was maybe not. Lord Shango is coming. Oh, God, I'm trying to remember them all. Devil Times 5, that was another one that they put out before, probably one of the better films that they did. One Dark Night is coming. These are all Blu-ray, by the way. God, I want to hit them all. Deadly Dreams. I think I said 2019 After the Fall of New York, which I'm a big fan of. Mutant is another one. Yes. Mutant with Wings Hauser and Bo Hopkins. A really good movie that people have never really talked about it. It's only been available in like literally $1 bin. I think I bought a copy of that at a Flying J in like a little bin for $1. So it'll be cool to get a proper version. Revenge of the Dead. Wow, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it is a ton. The Black Gestapo. I'm hoping Concrete Jungle, a Little Women in Prison action. I'm hoping that they put some of these out in the special 3-pack sale, because not 3-pack, but the kind of
bundle.
Get one of them
bundle.
Half off. Bundle is the word I'm looking for. What do you think, Todd? Are you getting all of those? Because that's what was killing me. I'm like, I can't wait on any of those.
Well, I hope they don't get unleashed at once. Bill tends to do 3 at a time, so hopefully that's what will happen, and that'll soften the blow. There was actually something from another company I was kind of curious about your take on, or if you're even excited, or your thoughts. Any excitement over Scream Factory's announcement of Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2?
I love those films. I'm a huge fan of those films. I was kind of okay with what I had. I mean, it looked fine. Will I pick them up? Probably at some point. I hope they don't Serpent in the Rainbow us on this one, because that was a pretty shitty collector's edition. I mean, they did not do a particularly good job. So, yeah, kind of like, again, I'm not referring to the movies, because God only knows Jeepers Creepers was very important for our genre at the beginning of the millennium.
I agree with that, but I'll shit on Jeepers Creepers 2 from here to eternity. So.
Yes, kind of David Dakota got some money sort of deal, but
now
I like Jeepers Creepers too. I mean, it's not the first one, but
Now, this has brought up a question. So people are like, well, what about Clown House? I mean, that is kind of a controversial title, but I think it would do well.
I think it would do very well. We won't get into the Victor Salva discussion again, because that could take up a whole show. But
Google it if you don't know.
Yes. It's in short, like I said, it takes a lot of people to make a movie. I don't think long story short, I don't know that you can boycott a movie because of that. But will they put that one out? I don't know. They may stay away from it. I mean, it's been long enough that I think they would. Here's my question. Is Victor Salva involved in any new features?
I don't know why he wouldn't be.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know Scream Factory, if they have a particular opinion on that. I mean, I'm sure they'll probably maybe import some of the stuff, but that's a pretty old audio commentary now. So
it's not like he was blackballed or anything. I mean, he was working.
No.
I mean, also, one thing I do want to say, because I know people have got excited over the announcement of The Crush, that Warner's opened up the catalog or something. Just so everyone knows, it's a Morgan Creek film, and they're separate from Warner Brothers now. So there's no new Warner deal. So I don't want everyone excited. Where's Killer Party and all the other titles Warner does not like to license. It's just a Morgan Creek title.
Yeah, I'm curious to sit down and watch The Boy. Maybe we'll do that one next week. Wasn't there, I don't know if they're going to handle distribution. I would assume they might. Don't they have some new series that's airing on Chiller soon. Slasher, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something about that earlier today. I heard about it way back. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have to DVR it.
It starts tomorrow on Chiller.
Okay. Well, we'll cover that. We'll do that for TV Terror Talk next week. So I think that's everything that I can think of in the way of news. Did I miss anything, Todd?
Not that I can think of.
We do have a new Pinhead, but not much to say there. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was cast, and we'll see. I'm looking forward to that project. I'm going to hope for the best, and we will see. So, without further ado, we'll get into our reviews for the evening. Well, let's kick it off with a sci-fi flick. It's so rare that we get to do sci-fi. Let's do our retro sci-fi flick first, and pardon me. That is Transformations, a 1988 film produced by the legendary Charles Band and directed by Jay Kamen. From the back cover, an act of passion unleashes a deadly force. In the furthest reaches of the galaxy, a lone transport pilot, Wolfgang Shattuck, locks in his destination, switches on automatic pilot, and retires for the night. Little does he know that the events will soon steer him onto a collision course with the gruesome horrors of transformations, where a horrifying evil lurks behind seductive facades. When Wolf awakens from a nightmarish slumber, he finds himself in the hospital ward of a prison colony. His ship has crashed with its cargo intact. Soon he finds himself gripped with a grotesque and mysterious disease that transforms him into a horrendous beast, and only the purity of the beautiful Miranda stands between the deadly disease and the rest of mankind. Okay, so this is, considering, the Charles Band connection, this is a movie that's really not talked about very much. I mean, it's quite obscure, and I saw it way back in the day, and one of those ones I didn't really remember. I never remembered having a strong opinion about it. Pretty much anything from Band back then was a hit for me. This is the last one to be shot at the studio he had in Rome, and it does look a bit more expensive than what they had, simply because they shot on sets left over from Arena and Robot Jocks. Other than that, it's a pretty cheap movie. It kind of has a bit of a exploitation sort of thing going for it at the beginning, a possible sexploitation even, that it doesn't fully embrace. It kind of goes more into more of a melodrama love story, and I don't know, there's a lot of filler in here. If you listen to the extras, this movie was a bit of a mess. The director, and which I should say, fantastic extras, even if the movie may not be entirely worth it. It had a great interview with the director, who kind of explained working with an Italian cast that absolutely despised him. Just everything was, pretty much everything that could go wrong on this type of movie did. And I don't know, it takes too long to get to the goods, really. I mean, you have some gratuitous nudity, which is very welcome in this movie. The lead Rex Smith kind of felt a bit out of place, and the director tells the story of him being kind of a very difficult prima donna, so it kind of makes sense. Not really this guy's type of movie, I suppose. You get a couple okay effects towards the end, but really even then, even in the cheap way, this one just doesn't deliver the goods for me. I don't know. You would think a movie about a space succubus would get a better recommendation from me, but I don't know. Alas, there's nothing particularly fantastic that I can say about this. I mean, you have extras that look like they're cosplayers, Star Wars cosplayers from a local convention. There's one point, I swear to God, and I didn't rewind it, but I thought I saw it in the bar, and again, this is in the future. I thought I saw a can of 7-Up, which I thought was funny. So it might be something to watch. Not a can, a bottle. So it might be a funny little thing to watch for. I don't know, man. Am I missing something with this? I mean, there's certainly some stuff you can make fun of if you're in Mystery Science Theater 3000 mode. The script's a mess. Am I missing something? Did you like this one more than me?
I did, but I think it's more of a nostalgia thing for me. And definitely, and even now, yes, I agree. There is definitely filler. But it's also that, for me, it's that bygone era of filmmaking where you could, we're using the Robot Jock sets, give me something to work with. Here's a script, just talk as long as you can so we get our 120, and we're good. Okay? We got some nudity, we got some creatures. Not even close to the top of my Empire list, but yeah. I mean, I worship Empire, and this is definitely at the bottom. I mean, because we've, even when we were doing stuff like Eliminators, Dungeon Master, I mean, those were movies I gave 5s to because I just love them so much. It's kind of telling that I'm not as enthusiastic about this one. I mean, it's obvious the director did what he could. I mean, from at one point, like going into, I guess, the effects room. I don't think it was a room. I think it was a shed, and having to improvise dyeing KY jelly black so they could kind of make a blob around Rex Smith. It just, I mean, it got the nudity, I suppose. I mean, it got that much. It just, I don't know. He does say that this was originally kind of an AIDS allegory, and he kind of toned that part of the script down and kind of made it more into a romance. There's a lot of things you can make fun of in this, if nothing else. I mean, during the sex scenes, how people can just totally overlook the boils on the back, and at the one point the chick turning into a monster, and he doesn't really notice. There's a lot to make fun of. The intergalactic phone call technology from AT&T, I got a laugh out of me, but unfortunately, there's just not a lot here. I mean, for me, this one gets a 2, and that's below average. And for a guy that loves Empire, Full Moon, but in particularly Empire, put out some just amazing titles back then. This is at the bottom of the barrel for them, but it's a 2. You still may want to see it, and again, the extras are stellar. For this, I'm not that much. I'm not that much higher. I'm dead in the middle of the 2.5. There's no way I can give it a 3. Yeah. I mean, again, this is when, like I said, they were literally tearing down the studio. I mean, at one point the water got shut off. If you're interested in the filmmaking process, it's a good. Extra features are definitely worth it. I mean, there's not a lot, but there's 2 good interviews and audio commentary by the director. That was more than worth it alone. So this is on Blu-ray, not a particularly expensive title, so you may or may not want to pick it up. I'm not sad that I did. And Lisa Langlois was also in Class of 1984 and The Nest, 2 great movies that I love very much, that are worth checking out if you enjoy her in this. So yes, that's Transformations. I don't know about you, Todd. When you first saw it pop up on Blu-ray.com, did you? At first, I thought Transmutations, which I was really. Yes.
I was like, oh yes, Barker, and then it's like, oh no, it's that. So maybe I
didn't
was in a bad mood.
Didn't I actually type that when we were like, oh, let's review that this week? I think I put the wrong one.
Oh shit! I don't know. Maybe maybe it's wrong in the description.
Not in our actual description, but when I was like, yeah, let's do transformation or transmute or Jesus, what the hell is it called? The other one this week.
Transmutations is the one I think we both would have rather have seen.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, Clive Barker hates that and Rawhead Rex, but I always liked them, so I don't know, maybe we'll see something with that one day.
I have that on Laserdisc still.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, there's definitely some titles. I was talking to Chris about it, like, a lot of the classics have been on Blu-ray now. There's not, as many absolute classics. I mean, there's some under-the-radar classics, but a lot of the big-name titles have been put out. I'd love to fucking see, Rawhead Rex and, Transmutations and, some of the Unnameable, just throwing out. Necronomicon, I'd love to see that come out. But we'll see. So that's, well, actually, I guess we should rate the special features. I would rate the special features a 4 out of 5. Kino's not a company necessarily known for always having fantastic features on something like this, and hey, this one gave me more than I could have asked for, so 4 out of 5 on that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. 4 out of 5.
Okay. Well, moving on to our next film. Todd, do you want to double on sci-fi, or do you have a preference for our next review?
Let's go. Since we got the sci-fi mode going, let's do a modern.
All right. Well, let's see. Maybe
for better or for worse.
Maybe this. Maybe this one will be a more of a recommendation. Maybe not. We'll see. This one is a brand new sci-fi film called Narcopolis. This one's also from Scream Factory. Strangely enough, had this, I would think it would just be Shout Factory, because this one has no horror elements whatsoever. So it's, I don't know, a little bit strange that they put it under the Scream Factory banner.
Well,
but
there's no.
Anyways.
Well, by that, it's an IFC Midnight title. There's no IFC Midnight titles on Shout.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I don't know if their deal would allow for that or not. That may be all there is to it. I don't know, but perhaps more people are paying attention to Scream Factory, so who knows. But anyways, from the back cover, in 2024, the manufacture and consumption of drugs has been legalized. Drex are an elite unit created by an overstretched police force to keep the black market dealers off the street and licensed drug companies rich. When Drek and former addict Frank Greaves is called to investigate an unidentifiable corpse, he makes a connection to the biggest and most powerful drug producer of them all, the Ambro Company. But Ambro has friends in high places, and as his corrupt superiors turn on him, Greaves finds himself cut loose by the law and separated from the people he loves. The only way to clear his name is to find the identity of the dead body and its connection to Ambro. But not even Greaves is ready for what the future has in store. So, Todd, what did you think about this one?
I was not a fan. I just thought it, the premise is, all drugs are legal. That was one of the things that was set up, their tagline and all that stuff. And I was like, it's pretty much exactly the same way it is now. I mean, yeah, they're all legal. It's still just all about pharmaceutical companies controlling the drugs and all that stuff. I felt like we should have had Martin Shkreli as the lead villain. Could have came out busting some Wu-Tang. It would have been more entertaining.
Yes. Yeah, it's one of these movies where it's sci-fi, but only just barely. I mean, it does become more sci-fi, particularly when we have a twist, but it's a low-tech sci-fi movie, I'll put it that way.
I felt like it was...
Oh, go ahead.
It was, what's his name? Jesus Christ. No, okay, you go. I'll think of who I'm thinking of.
Jonathan Pryce or James Callis. He's got a couple notable names.
No, it's not what he's in the film. Hold on. Oh, it felt like it felt like a bad Jason Statham movie to me. Probably
a little less people getting thrown through windows, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, I could have seen a little more money. It could have very well have been a Jason Statham vehicle. I did think that Elliot Cowan, who's pretty good on a show called Da Vinci's Demons, made for a good lead. Yeah. The acting was good. James Callis, if you're a sci-fi fan, of course, played a role on the new Battlestar Galactica, and of course Jonathan Pryce. Everybody knows Jonathan Pryce. It is. It's very low tech. It doesn't quite feel like you're watching a sci-fi movie. As you said, I mean, All Drugs Legal, I mean, that's not something that seems like it might be terribly far away. So, it's kind of a near future sort of deal, which I'm okay with that. I didn't necessarily have a big deal with it, but this one it's very well made, well acted. It just suffers from not being particularly special. And I'm very disappointed, actually, because I heard some really good things about this. And, I watched it, and I just thought, wow, that is painfully average. I mean, it's just, it focuses a little bit more on the characters and the drama than the sci-fi. That's all well and good. And like I said, the acting was good. I mean, I don't know, just something with the script. It was a bit boring. And even the twist, I mean, it was kind of like, I kind of feel I've seen this before. It's not the most original thing. I mean, I kind of got the, kind of the ultimate control sort of message from regulated versus unregulated. It was just never particularly interesting. It almost felt like a pilot for a failed Sci-Fi Channel TV show. It's almost like they just, there's not enough juice in this, and we're just going to go ahead and, release the pilot movie on Blu-ray. It just, I don't know. I'm struggling to find anything particularly good to say beyond the acting. I mean, it's never particularly suspenseful either, and it kind of should be.
Yeah, it was just kind of, it needed something more.
Mhm. Yeah,
it was a good looking film. It was a well acted film, but the script just wasn't there. I mean,
it needed. I don't know. It just. I was waiting for my mind to be blown somewhat, and I was just like, I'm trying to dance around revealing what the plot twist is. I didn't have a big issue with the plot twist. It just. I don't know. Almost, I would compare this, if anybody watches it, to a show called Continuum. At least the first season. I haven't gotten beyond that, but it's kind of another sort of low-tech sci-fi movie. But I don't, a sci-fi series. But I don't know. This one was just not very good. I'm giving it a 2.5 because it was well made, and and maybe you wouldn't mind seeing it through Netflix. I would not recommend a purchase. I can't see anybody watching this twice. And I'm a sci-fi fan. I want to throw it out there because we don't review these often, but I'm a sci-fi nut, so this is coming from a lifelong Whovian and Trekkie. It's just not very good.
Yeah. See, not me. I'm only giving it a 1 just for the fact that it was well shot and acted. But I mean, there wasn't enough there beyond that. I know. I will not watch it again. It was just not. It didn't do anything for me.
I think another thing that hurt it was not having the presence of a really compelling villain. I mean, because James Callis is good, but he's barely in this. I mean, there's really no. I mean, the villains are kind of kept to the. I mean, not to the shadows, but I mean, it's just pretty much him running from the muscle. You know what I mean? It's just you didn't have that. Yeah. Dynamic villainous performance that James Callis could have brought to this movie. I mean, he absolutely could have brought to this movie. It seemed like they had enough money. I'm not sure why they weren't able to utilize him a little bit more, but hey, there you go. That's Narcopolis. The reviews get better tonight, though, because we've got midgets, so you know it's going to get good.
I think our problem was that was our only nudity-free review.
Yes, that is true. There was a lot of skin in this one. No, actually, Todd, I believe there was some tits in the rave scene. Very brief.
Oh, that's well.
And the junkie's dead girlfriend on the bed. You did get some. You got some TNA there.
Yeah, I already forgot. Well, you know what I'm waiting on. Come on, I'll wait for our next one.
Oh, of course. Yes, because you're the rape guy. So that's. We all know what you're looking forward to, Todd, and I'm sure the FBI is listening tonight and gathering evidence.
I'm a fan of the revenge half of this genre. Thank you.
Yes.
I enjoy the rape revenge genre, but it's the revenge. With that awesome introduction,
You've never listened before, and it's like, why is he calling him the rape guy?
I know.
Do our guests still want to come on the show tonight?
Yeah, we might have a few new ears, so try to be on your best worst behavior. There we go.
Absolutely. Just don't give your address or general vicinity to Todd, But there you go. Anyways, our next film is a particularly, it's just a really beautiful Disney film called Whore. It's just a lot of talking butterflies and fuzzy woodland creatures. It's heartwarming. No, it's not. But anyways,
not to be confused with Pretty Woman, although they're similar stories.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I haven't watched that in a long time. I don't recall. Yeah, I guess Jason Alexander or somebody I think tried to assault her in that. That's been forever since I watched that, but I don't think she castrates anybody either.
I smell a review coming up.
There we go. Maybe we'll do. Yeah, we can do that. Maybe a commentary. Pretty Woman.
That would be.
We'll
that would be. Oh yeah, we're making that one happen. I'm just saying.
Speaking of which, longtime listeners might remember this, but we had a guest on, very nice lady that used to do sex work, which Todd didn't realize, and Todd went on a Pretty Woman rant. Let's just say we were talking about the most immoral movies that are not horror movies, and his pick was Pretty Woman for reasons you might imagine. I think mine was Overboard with Kurt Russell kind of technically raping Goldie Hawn in that movie.
Well, though, my point was proven why it was so bad.
Yes, that is true. I just thought it was particularly funny trying to find a way to get you to stop talking and not being able to, because she was on the show, and I was like, when you said it, I bit my hand. I was like, oh, fuck, I know what he's going to say. And I don't think I can stop him.
Yeah, that's when you got to give me those kind of heads up.
I should have. That was when we were doing our Fan of the Month show, which is something, I don't know, maybe we'll bring that back one day. If there's anybody listening that wanted to come on as a guest reviewer, that was kind of we didn't do a whole lot of those. We only did like a couple, but and that's probably why. But anyways, Whore, it's a Norwegian indie film, and this is actually a double feature because the sequel is also included as the extra feature, but we'll tackle the first one first. It's a 2006 film, although I know it's been out overseas. I think it might have even been region free under the title Hora, I believe it was. This is probably from Wild Eye Raw, the first time most of you be seeing it. And it follows author Ricky visits her family's secluded cabin to start writing her new novel. But along the way, she catches the eye of a group of local criminals who turn her visit into a living nightmare of violence and violation. Though left for dead, Ricky's ultimate revenge has just begun as she hunts, traps, and kills each of her captors one by one, in the tradition of the I Spit on Your Grave series, as though anybody that would have been picking this up wouldn't have gotten that. But nonetheless, there it is. All right, horror, obviously low budget. Wild Eye Raw seems to kind of be specializing in low budget films from overseas. Seems to kind of be the theme of Wild Eye Raw. This one stars as Ricky Isabel Vibe, who is apparently a very famous porn star in Norway. She delivers a pretty good performance here. I'm sure Todd Googled some of her earlier work. I enjoyed her. I thought she kind of channeled Camille Keaton and did a pretty good job here. It brings the exploitation elements that you would expect from the rape revenge genre. It is very low budget, not as low budget, or at least didn't look as low budget as a couple other films I've seen on this label, Thrill of a Kill, for example. It does go a very stylistic approach. It kind of switches to black and white at certain points in the movie. Certain things aren't very clear. Some of the attackers knew her as a child, and the one guy obviously was kind of obsessed with her. Very, very much like they kind of only sort of had a script and just kind of went by I Spit on Your Grave. It does deliver on what it promises. There's the three guys. You've got the one that ultimately does rape her, but is kind of the more hesitant one. Might be slightly retarded. It's not the most graphic out there. I don't think they had the money for certain effects, but it's definitely ugly and what you probably want from the genre. I didn't particularly like the missing reel gimmick. I just thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And there've been a few indie movies that have done that, and I'm like, even mainstreamers now have seen Grindhouse, so it's, I don't know, I didn't think it was that clever. The gore, I mean, again, it's a low-budget movie. There's nothing particularly fantastic, but it delivered enough of what it promised. Todd, what did you think?
I agree with everything you said, but I still loved it.
Mm-hmm. Of course you did, Todd. Todd is talking to somebody about this. He's getting help.
Would you do rape revenge right? When you do it like this, A to B, and don't try to make it all convoluted, I am satisfied. I may have to watch it a couple times, but it is, when it's done right, and we get to that revenge, it works. I mean, it always has. It's a formula, going back to the Virgin Springs. I mean, it's worked.
Yeah.
It's a story that's been retold over and over. And yes, this is essentially a remake of the I Spit on Your Grave. And it's weird because I know a lot of people are like, oh, but, most people don't like, modern remakes. And I think this is different. This is also why I love Chaos, the unofficial Last House on the Left remake, versus, let's say, the Universal Last House on the remake, or Last House on the Left remake, or even the I Spit on Your Grave remake, which I did enjoy, but it gets a little too sawish. With these, like this one and Chaos both, it's done in that spirit of the originals. It's not some corporation trying to cash in. It's, horror fans or fans of the originals or whatever, trying to make an independent film. And there's something different between that and having Universal say, "Oh, let's make Last House on the Left. Oh, cut that rape or cut the the most important part of it, the moral part." Where, yeah, that's a whole other thing. But I mean,
and killing someone with a microwave.
yeah. So you see, that's another Saw influence type shit. But yeah, it delivered, and I thought the whole carving the horror on her head, it was like, I don't know if it was done on purpose, but that very much reminded me of the Krug, except on her forehead.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the more effective scenes in the movie, to be honest. I thought that was actually pretty good. Kind of iconic. It worked.
Yeah, and there was the I noticed it was kind of hard because the songs were in Norwegian. Is that a language? Yeah, because Norway's a country. But I felt like they were even trying to do that whole Last House on the Left kind of folksy music set against. And I did like that. I mean, it's kind of hard with the language barrier on some of these that are subtitled to kind of get every little nuance. But I did catch that. I have to say, what other film have we ever got that we got the I don't know if it's the ass eye view of the sodomy.
Yes, I was going to say a blink and you miss it, bloody anus in this movie. That was I was kind of waiting to see if you noticed that because they didn't really focus on it very long. But yes, there is some bloody anus action.
The AOV shot, I don't know.
It was taken from the outtakes of the Sunny video.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. We also have some later with one of the murder devices on the Special Kid. We get to see the penis. What is the word? Shredded? I don't know. I don't want to give everything away.
Yes. Some bloody anal cavities and some penile shredding. That's all you need to put on the box. I mean, penile shredding, and it will sell 1 million copies easy. Yeah, though it's funny. It's funny you kind of mention it, but really for these movies, some of the rough around the edges sort of issues they may have kind of add to the charm, and kind of work in its favor. I mean, this isn't by any means the best rape revenge flick that I've seen. I love the genre because it's hard to screw it up. I mean, they're hard probably to make because obviously you need a game actress for something like that. But, it's easy to make you hate them, and when the revenge comes, it's usually quite satisfying. So, it is a good genre. Believe it or not, right before, I kind of had the mess with the movies I was doing, I was writing a rape revenge story that was quite different. I don't even want to give away the gimmick because it's never been done before, but I almost made one, Todd. It would have been, I would have cast you as the rapist. It's a surprise. Obviously, it didn't happen now, but I would have made your dreams come true. You could have been my Krug, Todd.
Damn it. Well, we'll have to talk off there. But we do have, real quick, because I know we have our guest reviewer waiting in the wings. This does feature a bonus feature, which is a whole full second feature, sort of a, what is it, a meta?
Well, should we rate the first one first before we get into that?
I guess we can do that. I'm giving
Yeah.
I'll go first. I'm
Sure.
giving it a 3.5 because I did enjoy it very well. I had to pull it back in no force.
Yeah, I'm slightly below you, but I give it a 3. It's definitely well above average for its genre, and I can't say my You hear me now, Todd? I heard the mute button.
I'm censoring you again. Sorry. All right.
That's okay.
No, you say
you probably missed about 2 seconds. I gave it a 3 if that didn't go through.
All right. Okay. And real quick, we want to kind of give a little bit on the second one. You want to try to explain this one?
Oh, wow. All right. So Inside the Whore, it's a feature length. I almost forgot to watch it because it kind of sounds like a bonus feature, but it is actually a feature-length sequel that, it kind of takes place outside the movie. It has the actual director and crew and follows them shooting the sequel, Inside the Whore.
And you already went off because we start off. We're screening. We're at they're selling the film, so you're at the screening of the film we're about to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, can't forget that. Come on. It's a film within
yes,
a film.
It is a very confusing synopsis. Yeah, it opens up with the screening of the film we're about to watch with some very stuffy censor-type people that don't want to produce this, hated the first one. You have a very enthusiastic guy talking this movie up, and really kind of sets the bar at the beginning because there's some pornographic nudity at the beginning. For some reason, kind of a what the fuck scene. They had a girl doing a striptease for these stuffy censorship people. I guess that was part of the pitch, and it did have some borderline XXX nudity. A lot of kind of a comedy at the beginning. A lot of you definitely get the sense this is not going to be a typical sequel to horror, and it's not. Once you get into the actual movie screening, it follows the crew shooting this movie. A lot of goofing off, kind of. It wouldn't be mockumentary, but really kind of that style of the director being a little bit unstable, although at the same time there's a lot of juvenile humor that just, I don't know, didn't work. Because like you said, keep it simple with these types of movies and you really can't fail. This one definitely goes way, way off the reservation. There's also some subtitles that very obviously are not what the characters are actually saying. It kind of does a little trauma action with that. Part of me, I could see some people finding this one actually the better film, thinking this is clever, but I don't know. Maybe it's clever, but I didn't like it. Todd, what did you think? I just didn't. Didn't do it for me.
I was entertained by it. I thought it was a cool concept. I did want a little bit more of the horror, I guess, for lack of a better term, which we do kind of get it at the, towards the ending. But,
it's a cameo.
But it's a different film. I was entertained enough. If I would have bought this on my own, as its own feature, I don't think it has the legs to stand. It works best with the way it's packaged. So Wild Eye made a smart move, and I really have no complaints. I mean, how do I say this? It sets out to do what it does, and then yes, there is a little twist at the ending that kind of sets it up because we go back to the screening where we started with the stuffy investors. Would I recommend it? I'd say it's a good companion piece to the first, but I can't really recommend it.
Well, if you want the first, you get it. So
yeah, exactly. It's the whole Blair Witch to Blair Witch 2, thing. people tend to either really like one or really like the other. I'm Blair Witch 2 person, so I'm just saying. I don't know if I know Pugs is listening. I don't know if you know that, Pugs. So, but okay, we are going to wait. Did we rate this? I'm trying to move us along.
No, we did not. We'll get right to it. A couple of effects, somewhat effective. I'm trying to rush through it and I'm stumbling over my words. Somewhat effective performances by a couple people, but as a rape revenge movie, this just didn't work. I give this one a 1, but again, it is an extra feature, so nobody's having to pay for it separately.
This is true. Dan, do you want to skip break or do you need a moment?
Well, if you have a song, we can take a quick break before we bring our guest on.
All right. I'm trying to see if we have something short on the board because I
don't want to commit you to.
we got a 6-minute song, and what did we play last week?
Well, we can skip it if we don't have anything short.
Well,
it's no big deal. I'm not on a Hot Pocket run, so.
Okay, well, our guest has no problem waiting. So, okay, Dan, go make your Hot Pocket. We'll be right back.
All right, sweet.
All right, we'll be right back with Pugs Dread, and that's with 2 Ds.
Not denying me that cheesy goodness. Thank you.
Well, since we were bringing up the whole rape revenge thing, here's our song will make sense this week. So we will be back in 6 minutes.
Wheels turning, some of the leaves are turning brown. Coming to gather you, gathering cherries off of the ground. A little while older, a little bit closer to the spring. Top of your mind is what the nakedness of a neon color smoky sound can bring. And the road leads to nowhere. After the day glows over you, a bottle of wine and a waterfall gonna lead you to the dream I knew you'd do. And the road leads to nowhere, and the castle stays the same, and the mother I just don't know. Where the road leads, I just don't know. Where the road is, oh, where the road leads. wake up to the new contentment of the way you fall, to win the war you won, and the road leads to nowhere, and the castle stays the same, and the mother gather the cherries off of the ground. After the rainbow, after the day glows over you, a bottle of wine and a waterfall gonna lead you to the green. I knew you do. And the road leads to nowhere, and the castle stays the same, and the mother tells the father, wait for
And we are back, correct, Todd?
We are back, and we are now joined by our guest reviewer, Pugs Dread from The Horrified and Creature Feature web show. Welcome, Pugs.
Howdy. Thanks for having me back.
Of course.
Great to have you back.
How's the AIDS treating you, Todd?
I'm feeling better.
Good, good. How about you, Daniel?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. We're happy to be here. I
we're glad to have you.
Reef, and I got excited, so. And then you guys
Midgets
played that
and zombie
awesome track.
monkeys. You couldn't stay away.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not supposed to when somebody yells rape. It's like yelling fire. You got to go.
You know, we've never actually reviewed Rape Killer on the show. Maybe we should make that happen.
Yeah.
Or Wife Killer for the American Mondo Macabre release.
For the uninitiated.
I still don't know which one is more offensive, Rape Killer or Wife Killer.
I would just assume the one with the hard R.
Yeah. It's always the hard R.
Yeah.
All right, well.
So I like
Dan?
that David Hess song you guys chose. That's cool.
Yes, that's actually his son's covering it from Cabin Fever.
Oh, okay. Ah, gotcha. Either way, badass.
Yes. Dan, where are we going from here?
Well, I guess sticking to the tradition, since Sinful Dwarf will fall under the Flesh Wound After Dark banner, I guess we can do our zombie flick first.
Yeah, it's going to be weird because we're going to go from that to interview tonight, so I don't really have how we're doing it. So
they may not call in after the Sinful Dwarf review. You never know. So we'll see. But I guess we'll do the zombie one first, Todd.
Yeah, go for it. It's not like we're doing Sunny Side Up this week.
No. It's porn, but it's not quite like full on porn. So at least there's
some
that.
adult
Hopefully it
content
won't
in
screw
it.
away. Yes, there definitely is. There's midgets. They're perverted. You know, it falls under Flesh Wound After Dark. But anyways, this one's not particularly perverted, and that is Zombies, which is the latest from the Asylum. And it follows a zoo veterinarian who risks an untested antitoxin on a dying monkey, which activates a deadly virus. Soon, all the animals in the zoo have been turned into the undead. So, I mean, simple synopsis, right to the point. And, well, since we have a guest reviewer tonight, we'll let you kick it off. I'm curious to hear what you think of this one.
All right. It's very Jurassic Park, Jurassic World-ish.
Yeah.
I thought the CG was actually pretty good. It was a little more earnest than what I was expecting. Overall, though, I enjoyed it. I made it.
Yeah. I know there.
Well,
I initially thought. Well, I know Jurassic Park. That was the first thing I thought too. Isn't this also because I never watched the show, so I don't know. It's obviously Jurassic Park, but isn't this also like the concept behind Zoo, the show, Dan? Isn't that where?
Well, they're not zombies, but yes, basically it's Asylum rips off a blockbuster and a popular show at the same time. But, you know, I have to say, and I always do these reviews assuming you like or at least can like Asylum titles. Obviously, this thing's a CGI fest. I think anybody going in would have to know that. I mean, you know, zombie animals at a zoo. I mean, you know this thing's going to be packed with CGI. If you like Asylum movies, I got to be honest, this is probably the most fun I've had with an Asylum movie in a long time. I actually liked it more than the last Sharknado, to be perfectly honest. It just felt just the right kind of stupid, and you know, it had me with the monkey tearing the guy's eyes out. I mean, you get to see a CGI monkey just go ape shit on the scientist why he's injecting this monkey, I do not know. But it does kind of go roid rage on this guy and tear some eyeballs out. And it's like Shakma. It's like they remade Shakma with with some really shoddy CG. God, Todd, I'll let you jump in because there's so many ridiculous moments in this movie. I mean, I thought it was great. What did you think?
No, I'm with you on that. I did. And, yeah, you mentioned the CG, going to be a CGI fest. I knew that. And it wasn't like Asylum, you know, a few years back. It didn't bother me. But it kind of added to it. I mean, you think this was made 20 years ago, we'd have shitty puppets and some stop motion giraffes. And it worked for me. And yeah, there were some of the characters were a little bit one dimensional, and we knew they were just showing up to get offed. Where, you know, the busload of people, you're kind of like, okay, they're getting offed. And even from the setup with the little commercial, it kind of set up the scope of the film and how, you know, the different areas. I'm like, oh, they got a zip line. We're going to see that later. You know, they're just kind of setting it up. And overall, it was a fun Asylum film.
Yeah, the last couple haven't been. The last couple just felt like kind of like just very generic, nothing happening. You know, almost something you would see Lionsgate put out. I mean, they were just very blah movies. This one brought the fun. And, I mean, like I said, at one point you have a monkey chest burster. I mean, there's even an alien.
That was one of my favorite parts.
Yes, that was actually one of my favorite gore moments of the last year. It was so bad, it made no real sense whatsoever, but we got a monkey chest burster, and that's all I needed. there are some moments in here I don't know if it was on purpose, but I mean, you even had a sort of Jason sleeping bag kill, not really, but sort of, with the monkey. You had, oh God, the zombie giraffes like wishboning that guy and just ripping his arms off. I mean, if you're looking at this and thinking zombies at a zoo, it delivered everything and more. I mean, I was cracking up watching this thing, and the zombie giraffes were a little weak. They kind of looked like they were just stoned, but they didn't particularly look like zombies. But hey, they're zombie giraffes.
It was giving me flashbacks of like the old Toys R Us commercials. I was afraid Jeffrey was coming to get me.
Killer Jeffrey. I would actually like to see a whole horror giraffe movie. I didn't know I wanted that till after this.
Yes. You little bastard shopped at FAO Schwartz, and now this is what you get. God, well, I mean, you get to see, though, all sorts. I mean, it's not, I kind of was wondering, I wonder if this movie's going to cheap out and it's just going to be like zombie monkeys, but you get a variety of animals. Let's just say that. You get, some birds that come in, you get a couple unexpected animals, and it's, what can I say? I mean, I just had a blast. I mean, this is easily a top 2 or 3 in the history of Asylum. I mean, it'd be pretty close to number 1. I thought it was just more fun than many recent creature features that have played at Sirius, and I kind of hope we get a sequel. It kind of ends where that might be a possibility, and maybe the zombie giraffes will return.
I kind of thought it was a little too serious. I was expecting a little more, Zombievers. But I still enjoy the movie. But yes. I was expecting a little more slapstick, and I was happily surprised that they changed, that they went a different way.
Yeah, they didn't overdo it. I mean, it's funny, but they didn't beat you over the head with the ridiculousness.
Yeah, they have Sharknado for that, so that's kind of good. They can still do this tone also, because sometimes once you go that way, it's hard to come back. But I like the fact that they're like, yeah, it's a ridiculous thing, whatever. Just because sometimes when you go and try for that whole slapstick feel, it just doesn't work at all. So I'd much rather have this and laugh at it than it not work. And I know it's a weird one to actually give a number. I mean, because I loved it, but I know a lot of people are going to go in like, I've seen this. This is Jurassic Park. This is, same thing. But it's got fucking zombie fucking lions and giraffes and, yeah.
Gorillas.
Gorillas.
Yeah, the not-so-sweet gorilla. I was hoping it would kill a certain character, and it didn't. But it didn't quite get that mean. But, well, I mean, I'm happy to go first. I mean, again, we rate these on a scale for what they are. I mean, and for what they are, this one was just about perfect. I mean, I'll give it a 4.5. I can't think of too much that I didn't get from this. I mean, it was hilarious. It's a great party movie. And, I mean, it ranks as one of the more over-the-top zombie movies ever made, for sure. I definitely have to get Chris to watch this, Todd.
Yeah. I agree. And I probably should have told you this, Pugs. We're on a scale of 5. Never mind, you listen.
Yeah.
I know that. So never mind. Yeah. I'm a 4 on this one. I definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of this, again, there's so many different horror fans. You kind of gotta go with what you go into zombies. Don't expect cat people or something.
Yes. No naked Natasha Kinski in this one.
I'll give it a 3.5, just because I didn't like that clueless girl's hair. What the fuck?
There goes the extra half star.
It's side tail out here.
All right, well, now we have the big one I know Dan's been dying to talk about. I think it's the first time we've ever talked about it, and Pug is the first-time viewer of it.
Oh, wow, okay. All right.
Yeah, I never saw it before.
Oh, wow, yeah, this is pretty well-known exploitation. Are we playing the intro, Todd? I mean, obviously, this is...
Hold on, wait, let me just do this.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
See, now I can't even pause it. Okay, there we go. I just was trying to get that part in there. All right.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is where we talk about perverted midget sex. So now people know they can't complain. They can't report me on Facebook. So Sinful Dwarf. This is one that definitely its cult has grown since it was put out by Severin in 2009, and from the back cover. This film's been called a masterpiece of depravity, and but was there any possible way the most amazing Dirty Dwarf movie ever made could be even more amazingly filthy? Severin Films is now proud to present both the hard and soft versions of the Sinful Dwarf, along with all new extras that include a feature XXX film from the film's infamous Danish producers, and even a nightmare-inducing hardcore short starring former Kitty Show host and pint-sized pervert Torben Bell. Experience the mother of all dwarfsploitation films like never before. It doesn't really get into the storyline. I mean, essentially, this is about a down-on-their-luck couple who try and get a cheap place to stay from a local slum lady, I guess we can say, and her midget son caretaker, who sort of keep a sort of an unwilling whorehouse in their basement with a lot of drugged out girls. So yeah, it's another Disney film, Todd, basically. Just, minus the British lady in the umbrella. Severin continues its excellence in terms of the package. We'll kind of talk about the extra features later, but I'm going to say this. I think I prefer Bloodsucking Freaks. I think that is actually the best dwarfsploitation flick. Of course, it's not totally focused just on the dwarf, so but I'm just throwing it out there.
And what's the dwarf's name?
I'm sorry, what?
And what's the dwarf's name from Bloodsucking Freaks? Come on, I'm trying to give you a wrestling connection.
Oh, yes. Shit, I'm drawing a blank here, Todd. Help me out.
Pug?
Ralphus. There we go. I just couldn't think of it there for a second. Yes, there was a wrestling connection. I am going to say Sinful Dwarf, we need the WWE Studios Hornswoggle remake.
You're good. You're good, Pugs.
Hello?
Okay. No, you're good.
Okay. My bad.
Oh. Yeah, I was just saying we should get the WWE Studios Hornswoggle remake. I don't think we will, but what do you guys think of this one? I will
sign that petition right now.
Yes,
or El Torito. It's possible.
It's going to be better than Leprechaun Origins.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Well, what do you guys think? Todd, was there enough? We don't really get any midget fucking per se in this, so I don't know if you were disappointed or not.
Well, no, I mean, it is, you mentioned Bloodsucking Freaks, and I think that is the definitive 70s era sleaze film. I think this is just right below it. It is, they have the saying, they don't make shit like this anymore, and they don't. I mean, with this one, it's more than just the whole depravity of the whole thing. It's like the story also behind it, and how no one wants to confess who actually directed it.
That is pretty bad.
So, as a first-time unknowing viewer, what did you think of all the goings-on in this one?
All right, first off, I feel a little short-changed because I didn't see any dwarf dick.
This is true.
That's a demerit. Now, story-wise, pretty goddamn entertaining, I must say. Peter Dinklage doing his best Jack Black impression. Awesome. What the hell was the toy shop called? Like Santa's Workshop? Is that correct?
Yes.
That's hilarious. He's dealing snow? Come on. No, I actually really enjoyed this movie. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's freaking weird. The pace moves just fine. And the ending I did not see coming.
Yes. At least Peter Dinklage gets laid on Game of Thrones, though.
Yeah. Well, he got some cane action, but,
Yeah, he did get some cane action. It wasn't wanted, but, he did get some cane action.
That's neither here nor there.
I don't know. She
found
that
not up to her.
She was wanting. There was some wanting eyes thrown at the cane. I'm just saying.
Right? I saw those. Excuse me. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, yeah, that is the one thing I do have to say was missing. We didn't get any dwarf action. That was kind of disappointing. Maybe the Hornswoggle remake will get some.
Hornswoggle.
Dude, I was kind of hoping that's why he was like hobbling along. Like maybe his dick was too heavy and I need help. The mystery will remain.
Well, this might be more disturbing, but there is a rumor that he at one point got married to one of his co-stars in this. This is a film that, like Todd said, like nobody wants to admit to being involved with it. And I mean, special features. There's a whole section on trying to track down anybody that had anything to do with the movie. I will say Torben delivered a hell of a performance. I mean, he was one creepy little bastard. Another Hornswoggle reference. I mean, he was a creepy son of a bitch, and an amazing performance. Even the score too. I mean, as simple as it was, I mean, there's just something very. It's definitely a movie you feel like you have to take a shower afterwards, and that's the best compliment I can pay a movie called The Sinful Dwarf.
Hell yeah! When he did his like face shaking convulsions, I was like, oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah. He was more interested in violating the toys than the women, though. That was they must have had a no midget deal in their contract, but I mean, this is the XXX version, but it's not. It doesn't really function so much as a full-on porn film. I mean, some of the porn scenes really did kind of feel like just inserts that it almost could have done without it, but hey, it is there.
Didn't even look like it was from the movie. It was like the lighting was pretty bad, but
the elements, were pretty bad. Yeah.
There's a quality shift because it came from two different prints. That's the one thing. Yeah, this is true. But yeah, there is also the version that is minus the, the hardcore inserts. If you're not a fan of that, I mean, it doesn't help. But I always think the first time you see it, you need to get the full version.
I will never watch the
Absolutely.
un-XXX version. Fuck that.
Well, here's the thing, though. There is one reason I would say you should probably check it once. There is a few extra. There's I want to say that runs about a minute longer. It runs a minute shorter, and the way it's padded out, there's a few extra little bits here and there sprinkled throughout of the American version called The Abducted Wife. So
yes.
That's the name they gave the American version?
Yes. The Abducted Wife, I know. And it was from exploitation, distributor Harry
Novak.
Thank you,
Harry Novak, the legend.
Yeah, and he switched it from Sinful Dwarf to Abducted Wife. And that never made sense to me.
Bride,
Abducted Bride, thank you. Yeah, he should have just kept...
That's missing, the main selling point. There's a dwarf in this film.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to use the abducting dwarf, I don't know, something. You got to have, if you want to change the title. But no.
Yeah.
They went with the softer of the two titles. All right, and Pugs, I will make sure that you are able to see the extras very shortly. I will be seeing you on next Saturday.
Oh, yes.
It was
we
do
have to discuss the extras. Because you do get to see some midget fucking in the extras, not by Torben, but in the extras you do get to see some midgets.
That is the thing, though. It is rumored that is a young Corbin. It didn't look like it to me, but because
I was going to say that was only a year before this. I mean, who knows when it was actually shot? But
a young, thin Corbin, and I'm sorry. It doesn't look like the same little person. I don't want to say...
No, you know your midgets, Todd.
All right, but let's do the film real quick before we talk about
you guys feel shorted, though, without the midget? I mean, the dwarf dick?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
Okay.
I only hope we get it in the Peter Dinklage version or Hornswoggle. I'm okay either way, to be perfectly honest.
Would you be all right if Jack Black did that shit on a green screen?
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. They can hobbit out Jack Black, and it would work.
That is so, the mini version of Jack Black. I don't know why I've never put that in my brain before, but now I cannot watch this movie the same ever again.
Not quite as rapey, though.
I'm sorry, and you're welcome.
I sent you the link to the plush doll so you can have all your own adventures with the Sinful Dwarf.
I'm gonna hide my heroin.
Maybe
in there.
Torben has a rock band.
Yeah.
All right. Are we just doing fives all across? What are we doing on this one?
I go five.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm a 4.5. The poor little guy didn't get his knob polished. I can't quite go a 5, but 4.5.
This is true. I have to agree with Dan on that one. So for the midgets run amok genre, I guess this is the top one.
I'm still giving a 5. They had drugs and toys and rape women. This movie's for me.
Yeah, that's why this was one I made sure you had to chime in on. All right, real quick.
You know me well, so
yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome. Real quick before I know our guest will be calling in any minute. Let's just real quick talk about the extras, Dan.
Oh, the extras are stellar. The Harry Novak story, kind of a brief featurette. If you're not familiar who he is, I mean, he's one of the big names in Grindhouse, sexploitation, whatever you want to say. I mean, he's well worth hearing about if you don't know who he is. You certainly know the films. The Blue Balloon is the feature-length title. That's more of a straight-up porn movie that stars one of the girls from Sinful Dwarf. So, the bushes aren't quite as hairy as Sensual Encounters. Todd. I will say that. I don't know if you would agree.
Yeah, there was a few scenes that came off a little rapey too, so that was kind of different.
Yes, there's some lesbian rape in that, which was kind of rare, and probably just about almost as offensive as Sinful Dwarf. It just didn't have a midget. You have a lesbian pimp, a girl that has more freckles on her ass than Ronald McDonald. Not something I think you're going to fap to, but you never know. You never know. Todd probably found a way.
No, always. I found a way during Sinful Dwarf. What are you talking about?
I know, man. I mean, you find a way. You're not proud of it, but Schindler's List, you found a way there too. Right. I mean, you you can block out the plot.
It was a little spark of the color red that got me.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really rate this one. I mean, it's a special feature. I mean, it's a porn film. Very apparently, Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know if they're still going to be putting it out or not, but loan this to them. There was some double stuff action, which seemed rare for that time.
There was, and it kind of went afoul. But I mean, this is a weird one to rate the extras because I mean, we have a featurette, like to the film specific stuff, real quick. We have a featurette about how Vinegar Syndrome should never put it out. That was ported over from the last release, which is really entertaining because it's just a little comedy bit of how it's the worst film ever. And then we have one on the history of that no one wants to talk about it, which is a nice little 10-minute piece. Very interesting, but I mean they couldn't actually get anyone to talk about that was in the actual production. So it's kind of a weird thing to rate the extras. While I found them all entertaining, it's not really when we're talking about the extras, it's stuff about the movie, and we didn't have it. But as an overall package, you get both cuts of the film, you get the bonus Blue Balloon feature, you get a bonus scene with the Little People, you get a couple extras about the film, you get theatrical spots. Overall package, it's solid. I mean, there's nothing else you could do for the Sinful Dwarf. I give it a 4.
No. I give it a 5 package-wise. I think Severin is really one company that could be the company of the year in terms of their Blu-ray releases. I mean, they blow Scream Factory out of the water after that terrible Serpent in the Rainbow adaptation. And there's none of the actors or director from this, but Torben's dead. I very seriously doubt some of these Dutch grandmas and grandpas are probably going to want to talk about the midget porn they did. So, I don't fault them for that. It's very interesting, very, like you said, the comedy featurette I thought was pretty funny.
Right.
So I give it a 5.
All right. Well, on that note, we've wrapped up our review portion of the show. And we have a couple filmmakers on the line. And sorry, I'm just making sure we have them on the line. Sorry, I'm multitasking. When I'm running the board, I kind of lose my spot. We have special guest Tristan Clay, and oh geez, am I Pugs? You know these names better than me, don't you? It's Destiny Orndorff.
Yes.
I want to say the wrestling name, so I'm trying not to say it with all. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names. Please correct me. Who are we're going to bring on right now to discuss their new film Red Eye, which they're trying. We'll let them talk about it because I know they have a crowdfunding campaign going on right now. All right, and hello, you guys are on with Fleshwood Radio.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. Sorry about
Welcome
the botched
to the
introduction, but do you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners?
Destiny, you go first.
Okay. I'm Destiny Orndorff. I'm the actress, co-writer, and producer of Red Eye.
I'm Tristan Clay. I'm the director, writer, and producer of Red Eye.
All right, very cool. Welcome. Well, you guys want to, I know we've posted a link for it's Indiegogo, correct? I was going to say Kickstarter. I don't remember. It's Indiegogo, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of want to give our listeners a little bit of history on how this project came to be?
Go ahead, Tristan.
Well, it was your idea. It was your short story, so I'll let you say this one too.
It was a short story I did for creative writing in high school, and when I met Tristan at a horror convention, I sent him the short story, and we pretty much just built off that and created a script.
Now, you guys went back, hey, what's up? It's Bugs Dread here. You guys went back and forth writing the entire script, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
And how long did that take?
Oh, my gosh.
It was all summer and spring.
Yeah, I'd say.
So 5 months?
And what inspired the short story?
I used to live in South Carolina, and we'd travel up to Pennsylvania to meet my family, because all my family lives up here. And when we'd enter West Virginia to get to PA, my stepdad would tell me the story of Red Eye that lived in the hills of West Virginia, and that's pretty much all he ever told me. He never told me much more than that. So one day when I needed to come up with 2 pages for a story in creative writing, I pretty much just took Red Eye and created something from that.
Awesome. And Tristan, what caught your eye from the Red Eye story?
Well, like Stephanie said, she sent me the script, and it was very, it had a generic aspect to it, the generic formulated horror, story, but there was something that she was wanting to get across, and that was passion. And that's what connected me to it, was the passion in the story, because I have so much passion. We both have so much passion. I just connected to it.
Right on. And your background in film, you studied filmmaking, correct? Right?
I have not.
Okay, you made a short film, though. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, I made 2 short films. It was just a couple of me and my friends. There was no crew. There was nothing. I got a couple friends together from high school and from my small town, and we just kind of did our own thing. And I don't think much of that, but it was my first one. So, but yeah, I have 2 short films. So. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Is this based on a real legend, Mothman sort of deal, or is it a completely made-up Blair Witch type scenario?
It's completely made up. It's not based on anything realistic.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you mentioned the legend of Red Eye. I was kind of wondering the same thing, because sometimes with the local legends, and I know Jersey Devil's one, I know that one's, a real legend, but, you don't have to go that route and it still works. I was just, Dan jumped in on that one.
Yeah, I was not far from Burkittsville, and, because I assumed Blair Witch was a real legend, and I remember going there and hearing from these old people, it's like, we didn't hear anything about this shit before that goddamn movie, and we've got kids from the city coming in and asking us questions, so...
All right, so you guys have, when is the Indiegogo up, and what are the packages that you guys are offering?
Our Indiegogo is live right now. We have from a $5 perk to $1,000. It ranges from, thank you credits to DVDs, Blu-rays, T-shirts, a day on set, premiere tickets. We have a handful of perks that anybody could be interested in.
I saw you named those pretty interestingly. Isn't one of those like a flesh wound something?
Flesh wound.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe that's our T-shirt.
That's very appropriate since you're on Flesh Wound Radio.
Yes, it is.
And you guys are producing a Blu-ray, correct, for one of the perks?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually the one I bought. What was it, like Rusty something?
Rusty
Hook.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Are you guys currently in production? I know the funding's going for different aspects, but I don't know how far along you guys are, or I know your goal is for 2017. Just how far in the process are you guys?
If we raise all the money that we need, we'll be able to film it in July and should have it out in the festival circuit early March. And then we'll tour with it through 2017. And we'll also have our world premiere in Kentucky and Pennsylvania in March or January or February, like in that time frame, if everything goes smoothly with crowdsourcing.
All right, very cool. I'm just gonna. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just gonna ask you. You guys are being kind of secretive on the plot. Is there a twist? And because you haven't, I've noticed in some of the Kickstarter stuff, it's been kind of kept close to the vest. Am I wrong to assume that there's details you're purposely withholding on the plot, or am I just?
There is a big twist, and it's just really hard to just come out and say more than what we have, because if we do, we'll pretty much just ruin it. But we will say that it is set up generically, like for the generic horror formula, but literally in the end, it just hits you with originality, and it has a pretty big twist. Go ahead and continue with that, Tristan.
I was like, be easy, Destiny, be easy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, like Destiny said, we take, there's nothing out there that has not been done, just different ways of doing it. And we really played with that idea, and we played with, the horror formula. And obviously, you hear teen set out to local legend, document, you think, oh, found footage, backwoods, slasher, same old, same old. Well, halfway through the second act, it's just like, hit in the face, in my opinion, of complete originality. And we want the viewers to just look at the film with their mouth wide open, like, what the, what in the world? Because it just takes, a whole different turn. And I think it's all for the better. But, yeah, we do have, it's really hard to say much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there is a
lot
more than you're right to assume, yeah.
Yeah, that is good. Call me interested in the project. I will be contributing myself. I just haven't yet. We have put the link up on in our group. I don't know if we shared it on the actual page yet, but I know it is in our Flesh Wound Radio group. So if you guys want to contribute, there's a lot of cool packages and options, or if you just want to donate a few bucks if you don't want to get a package. Anything to support independent cinema, that's what we do at Horror Society, and we're all behind it on Flesh Wound Radio. You guys have anything else? We do have one more segment to get to, which we overpacked this show. I don't want to cut you guys off, but is there anything else you guys want to say before we let you go?
Just that we appreciate you having us on, and for everybody that's listening, I think if you're a horror fan, you can agree that horror fans making a horror movie is something that you can definitely jump on the bandwagon with.
Absolutely, I've been there, so I will contribute as well.
That is something we always support.
Do you have any advice for them, Daniel?
Wow. I was going to say, he doesn't know my story, but
yeah, I know. We'll have to do that.
I might just scare them away from ever doing it again, so I won't answer that right now.
You guys are in West Virginia, that is correct?
No. Destiny's in
okay.
Pittsburgh, and I'm in Kentucky.
Oh, it's set in West Virginia, though. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because Dan is from West Virginia, and there's one particular filmmaker he'd probably tell you to stay away from. So, but that's kind of where you aren't actually, if you're not actually in that state. So you never mind that. That was going to be a safety or a precautionary tale.
Yes.
But yeah, if you guys want to check in with us and give us updates, you can hit us up on the Facebook page. I don't know if we added you to the group. You guys can put updates in there too. I'll make sure
absolutely
we get you guys in there, and you can, because I definitely like to follow, keep an eye on the project, and you guys are welcome back. And Tristan, I don't know if you said there was anything you wanted to say. I don't know if I jumped in and cut you off.
Oh, no, I just, the same thing Destiny said. Thank you for having us on.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you. Sorry, again, we overbooked, so we got one more segment. All right, and thank you, and keep us posted. All right, good night, you two.
Thank you, guys. We'll keep everyone up to date on your project.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming on. All right, well, that was the filmmakers of Red Eye, and we have our final segment. Yep. Dan, you want to give them the warning? And Pugs, I totally forgot to make sure you're up on Walking Dead this week.
I fell asleep halfway through, but I can. I'll
okay. Are you sure you?
I was really
can
tired.
Jump off.
No.
I'll be. It wasn't just you, because I had to rewatch the ending myself because I kind of nodded off.
Okay, yeah.
So, Dan, you want to give the warning real quick?
Walking Dead spoilers. If you haven't watched it, definitely don't listen until later, and after you do. I just wanted to add one thing about them. Jessica Cameron is actually attached to their film, a very popular indie actress. So if you're a fan of hers, you probably want to check out that page. I think it'll be a really interesting project. So, well, without further ado, Walking Dead. Kind of a build episode for sure. I mean, we're not at a point where the shit's hit the fan, but we did get to meet, oh God, I suck at names. Was his name Gregory? We get to meet Xander Berkeley's character, who is a bit of an old pervert that tried to come on to Maggie. She wasn't quite having that. And definitely the march to Negan at this point. I mean, we kind of, the different groups now that are kind of being charged protection money. I haven't read the comics. I know, obviously, I think they're going to go into this and find out that Negan's got a lot more than 20 men and they're in way over their heads. I don't know. You think I thought Michonne might be one of the last people standing in this, but now that she hooked up with Rick, maybe she's the one that's going to get the baseball bat from Negan. What do you think?
I think that is a strong possibility now. I mean, I don't know. All these relationships, it gets boring. I mean, I don't know. It could work with Maggie, though, and then the baby, make it a bigger impact.
Mm-hmm. You get laid,
you guys know how I
done.
feel.
Yeah, and I think this week's episode was, I don't even want to say better than last week. It was back on, I know, Pugs fell asleep, I fell asleep. I thought it was a lot of just setup versus a lot of, which there's always episodes like that are,
what I did see was way more enjoyable than those stupid decisions from last week.
Okay, well, you know what? Since you bring that up, you did not like last week's episode, versus I was kind of like in the middle. I'm curious, what were your issues? I mean, you had strong feelings. You told us to rape it if we needed to, so.
Absolutely. So, we spent a lot of time with Rick and Daryl, right? So we know what they're capable of and how smart these two characters are. You're telling me that this Jesus person runs into Rick out in the open, and this guy lives. Okay, one time maybe. This motherfucker steals your shit, and you're not gonna pull that trigger. No, you bring him to your base. No, what the fuck are you guys doing? I don't buy that
it was
choice
very
at all. I know they're trying
comedy.
to like, huh?
It was very action comedy. It didn't feel like Walking Dead. It was like playing it for laughs.
Yeah, like, and then, Daryl, why the hell are you getting out of the car to run after a person? You're in a car. It moves faster.
That's when
like,
you just jerk the wheel to run over.
Smarter than this.
Yeah.
And the part that saved it though for me, when they tied that Jesus guy up, and he's like, "I try to get your soda, but it's this asshole's fault." That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the whole Rishon thing, I'm indifferent about. I don't care. Like, you go ahead and get your chocolate. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't see them being a couple for very long, which, again, I really now Michonne's kind of marked for death. Another Steven Seagal reference, Todd.
In the comic book, isn't she like a homie hopper?
I don't read the comic books.
Okay. I understand she gets around.
She hooks up with Tyrese, I believe, in the comics. So obviously now it's. I think she does. Don't quote me on that because I'm not that far. I'm just going by what other people said. I thought she hooked up with Tyrese, but. I mean, at this point, Rick kind of got over that Jesse chick pretty fast. I mean, I know they said a couple months passed, but, goddamn, it's like she just got torn apart right in front of you, and next episode you're falling Michonne.
You can't wait.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do. It's a lot easier to, break up in the zombie apocalypse. Just kind of push her into the walker over there. It's done.
I'm still holding out for Rick and Daryl. That would be interesting.
Brokeback zombie. Yeah, I was I was like waiting for him to like bang Michonne and like, let's bang in my dead girlfriend's bed. I mean, it was just like there wasn't even a like I need to get over her and sulk for a few episodes. It was just like, boom, bang Michonne. It was
he's probably relieved that the little kid was gone too. I'm like, yeah, well,
yeah.
Go to bed.
That kid was
annoying
a death trap
anyway.
for sure.
I did think it was funny on this episode when Rick has to tell Carl he's banging Michonne. I couldn't tell if he was winking under with the other eye or what.
He tried to wink with him. Like, I'm winking at you, Dad. You just can't tell.
Carl might have had some designs on Michonne. You never know. I mean, it didn't happen for him with Beth, and I don't know. He might be pissed off now. Maybe that's why he stayed back and wouldn't go with them.
You pulled my pussy, Dad. The fuck?
He's like, I was hoping she'd play with my other eye. But, well, I will say Abraham was pretty funny about this last episode. That was the highlight for me. He had some good one-liners. Pouring the Bisquick and pancakes. Yes.
I do remember that.
Yeah, he still. I kind of hope he sticks around because I feel like they haven't done as much with him as he should. He's a lot more interesting than Tyrese was, and I think kind of the muscle / comic relief character. But they kind of did some hinting about him too. I mean, the way he kind of kept staring off into space. I got the same vibes from him as I got when Tyrese finally died. I mean, it was very. I don't know what they're going to do with his storyline. I will say cheating on Rosita in the zombie apocalypse would be probably not the best idea for a 7-foot-tall Ronald McDonald looking dude like us. Just my preference. But yeah, I mean, it's a build episode. I mean, this is all. I just hope we get to see Negan for more than 2 seconds. I definitely hope that we get the big scene, the big baseball bat scene, and get to enjoy Jeffrey Dean Morgan for an episode. Yeah. Yeah,
Maggie's belly.
Who eats? Yes.
Just beat a pregnant belly, please.
I want him to pound it with the bat, and then it shoots out, and Daryl catches it and rides off on a motorcycle, saving the day. That would be the best.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, just boom, football, big catch, and just boom away on the motorcycle, and Daryl can come save the day later. Raise the kid in the woods and name it Merle.
Yes.
That'd be the way I would go, but I don't think I'll get my way.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. But
dream killer.
You never know.
Are you all caught up on Z Nation, Todd? I know Fear the Walking Dead's coming back, and I know you're a Z Nation guy. I'm trying to catch up. I just got the new set.
I am not. I'm about halfway through season 2. It's sitting on my DVR. And yes, I know the DVDs came out. It still annoys me we have no Blu-ray.
You do overseas, which sucks.
They do. I'll have to look into that. Pugs, do you watch Z Nation?
I actually don't. It's like one of the few shows I don't watch.
It's fun. I mean, if you just like a zombie show that doesn't, try to be Walking Dead and too serious, it's a fun, entertaining show. I do actually recommend it. It's nothing heavy. It's just some light popcorn zombie fun for an hour on Sci-Fi. It's not high art.
It's Asylum. We could get some Zombies crossover.
Now you have my attention. Yeah.
We'll let you know if there's a Zombie episode.
If they don't, it's a missed opportunity, honestly.
I do want to say real quick before, because I know we're getting to the last couple minutes. Next week we'll be back. I do want to, Dan, this is going to be news to you, but we just got back from a contact with Troma, and we'll be reviewing their newest film that actually we were unable to attend the screening in L.A. tonight of BC Butcher, shot by a 17-year-old out in, and I already forgot the city, and I don't have the page up, but we'll talk about all that next week, so that should be fun.
Yeah.
And we are going
to Egyptian tonight, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was. And I know we're going to dive into the Grindhouse set of Pieces, which is a beast on its own.
We couldn't do it this week.
And we'll be back. Yeah, we're in our last night. We're coming up on Speaker, Hellraiser Radio, brought to you by UEW. I know mine and Pug's friend Hanky will be joining the show with talking about. He's going to kill me if I do it wrong. Is it Tanky's Twisted Tool Shop? He's going to be.
I think it's a workshop. I think it's a workshop.
I thought it was a tool shed.
You're right. It's Tanky's Twisted Tool Shed.
Okay, Tanky's Twisted Tool Shed. Yes.
It has its own Facebook page and everything.
Does it really? Did I miss this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll invite you.
That's just look. Jeez. See, I don't even know.
We'll have to post it on Flesh Wound Radio. That way, everybody can check it out.
I know he already wants shirt design, so I don't know.
He's ambitious.
All right. So we're probably going to go in the archive real quick. So if we're cut out, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. We did get a request for Howard the Duck.
Time. Thanks, guys. Thank you both.
Thank you. Always welcome.
Yes, absolutely. And hopefully we don't overbook, so we actually have a little more time to breathe next time. Anything you want to plug before we? Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Creature Web Show and the Horror Vibe.
Yes, and I know new episodes coming soon. So cool. All right, hopefully I'll see you. I'll see you next Saturday for sure, of course. And until then, Dan, what else do we got? Are we out?
We got a request for Howard the Duck, which is coming to Blu-ray, which might be interesting. I don't know if we'll do that or not, but that is a very bizarre film.
We're booked up. We're booked up that night. Sorry, Pugs.
No, you are not. I'm coming.
Yes, absolutely.
When is that? This is news to me.
That's coming to Blu-ray this Tuesday.
Did you not know this, Pugs?
No, it went under the radar. Dude, I've been too busy with Batman v Superman stuff. That's insane.
All right. Well, it'll be on Blu-ray next week.
You guys just saved my life. I'm ordering it right now.
Well,
yeah, it's cheap right now, I think.
Yeah, it's
a weird.
I thought
it's a weird mix of reviews next week because
I apologize. Well, I think Pugs might be back next week to review Howard the Duck with us.
Is it for next week? I'll be back.
Yep, as long as it comes in on Tuesday, which it should. It's a weird week because we've got the Species sequels on Blu-ray, and Batteries Not Included is another retro sci-fi title that they're putting out. So I don't know what we'll have, but we'll have another stacked show for you guys.
Awesome.
Yes.
I got a Howard the Duck story for you guys too. I'll save it.
I don't
think I've told Todd that before.
Jeez. Well, now I can't wait. We may have to give Howard the Duck a 30-minute segment. Might get the last half. All right. Well, okay. Well, like we said, you're always welcome back, and now we already have Pugs will return next week with Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah.
Now, I think he's just excited. He didn't know it was coming out on Blu-ray either.
Dude, if you could see me, I got ear-to-ear smile. I can't speak.
I can hear it. I can actually hear it in your voice that you're regretting.
Awesome. Dude, well, that's my all-time favorite movie. Like, no joke. I love it.
And the duck gets laid in that one, too. He does better than Corbin.
It just better be the full uncut version or I'm going to be pissed.
All right.
Yes.
It has to be. There's no duck condoms, we will riot. Me and Pugs will be up at Universal Studios.
Oh, I'll start some shit. Let's do this.
Well, we'll do it next week then, for sure.
Yes, we will. All right. Yeah, Dan's trying to hurry us up. All right. Dan's got a hot date. She's waiting for him. All right. Where's our outro song?
Get it,
all
Dan.
Right,
with my right.
Where the hell? Oh, there it is. All right. Good night, guys.
Night, guys.
It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all taught, don't. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Gingy.
Pain.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar!
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
Subway restaurants invite you to make every day different with the sub of the day. Every day, it's a different footlong sub for just $6. Try the sweet onion chicken teriyaki on Monday, the oven roasted chicken on Tuesday, turkey breast on Wednesday, and many more. Prepared on your choice of freshly baked bread with any veggies you want. It's a different footlong sub of the day each day for just $6. Only at Subway restaurants. Participation may vary. Additional charges for extras and deluxe, plus tax where applicable. May not be combined with other offers, coupons, or discount cards.